against tribal group in Rajputana. Despite the opposition and challenges of the region, they devoted their lives to spreading the gospel. Their mission echoed the words of Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations. Matthew 28:19. Through their tireless efforts, they fulfilled this command, bringing Christ's message to remote and undeserved regions, transforming lives and sowing seeds of faith in the hearts of countless people.
It is essential to honor the life and legacy of our first Mother General, Mother Mary Fortuna, who arrived in Rajputana on 16th December 1897. She stands as a timeless example of sacrifice, dedication, and unwavering faith. Following the example of her elder brother, she left her homeland, France, to venture into an unfamiliar and challenging land. India at that time was underdeveloped, and the obstacles she faced were daunting. The relentless heat of summer, dusty winds, limited resources, hard water, and an entirely new environment. She encountered unfamiliar people, customs, and ways of life vastly different from her own. Yet, with courage and grace, Mother Mary Fortuna embraced these hardships for the greater glory of God and the spread of His kingdom. Her simple accommodations, uncertain conditions, and unknown future did not deter her resolve. Instead, she undertook her mission with joy, collaborating selflessly in the work of the mission. She shared in the dream of our founder to make the cross shine brightly in the barren land of Rajputana. She taught us the profound lesson of dying to oneself in order to bring life to others. Her devotion to God's work and her willingness to endure hardship for the sake of others serve as a constant inspiration to us all. Saint Augustine once said, "The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page." Early missionaries viewed India, particularly Rajputana, as a new chapter in this divine book, one rich in culture and diversity, where the gospel could be proclaimed and lived in transformative ways. When they arrived, they did not merely bring a foreign message. Instead, they sought to understand the hearts and minds of the people, to listen, to immerse themselves in the local culture, and to build bridges of faith through deep respect for the land's traditions and customs. Their mission was to write a new chapter in the history of India, particularly in Rajputana, where the sons and daughters of India would not only receive the gospel but also rise to lead their people in faith. Today, we witness the fruits of their vision. The priests, bishops, sisters, and leaders who have emerged from Rajputana soil are living testimonies to the fulfillment of this prophecy. Saint Paul in Acts 16:14 speaks of Lydia, a woman from Thyatira, who responded to Paul's message. One of those listening was a woman named Lydia, a dealer in purple cloth. She was a worshipper of God. The Lord opened her heart to respond to Paul's message. Lydia's story reflects the mission of the early Prabhudasi sisters. Just as Lydia, The Prabhudasi sisters became instruments of transformation, bringing the light of the gospel to many women in Rajputana. In Prophet Joel 2:28, we read, "Your daughters will prophesy." This prophecy resonated deeply with Father Como, who envisioned the daughters of India not only keeping the faith but also spreading it to others. Through their faith and courage, they proclaimed God's word, bringing the gospel into homes and communities. Today, their legacy endures in the faith-filled lives of those who continue their mission. On May 24th, 1906, 7 young girls received the religious habit and embarked on their journey as the first Prabhudasi sisters. Their lives were placed under the patronage of Our Lady of the Annunciation, a powerful symbol of obedience and willingness to say yes to God's call. Mary's response to the angel, "Behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it done unto me according to thy word," Luke 1:38, was an extraordinary act of faith and surrender, inspiring these sisters to embrace their mission with the same trust and devotion. In the life of Saint Francis of Assisi, we find a similar spirit of surrender and humility. When Francis heard God's call to rebuild the church, he began by literally restoring a small chapel. His humility and simplicity reflected Christ's teachings in their purest form. Likewise, the early Prabhudasi sisters, with deep faith in their hearts, committed themselves to building a new way of life and service, guided by the same spirit of humility and trust in God. In the Gospel of St. Matthew, we read, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Matthew 5:3. This beatitude beautifully captures the essence of the early Prabhudasi sisters. They embraced the woe of poverty, not only materially but also spiritually, modeling their lives after Christ, who had nowhere to lay his head. Their lives were marked by profound faith and an unwavering trust in God's providence. They lived simply, eating modest food, wearing local attire, and accepting the daily challenges of poverty without complaint. Their hearts were unburdened by material possessions or desires, filled instead with joyful contentment in serving God and others. They discovered true happiness in embracing the bare minimum, finding their satisfaction in the knowledge that they were living in accordance with God's will. In their simplicity, the early Prabhudasi sisters found a profound richness, a richness of spirit that brought them closer to Christ and to the people they served. Their lives were a testament to the truth that true wealth is not found in material abundance, but in the fullness of God's love and the grace of living for others. Their legacy continues to inspire, reminding us that when we live simply and surrender ourselves to God's will, we become vessels of His love, bringing light to the world and transforming lives in the process.
In 1910, the first branch of the Prabhudasi ashram was established in Thandala, marking the beginning of its outreach in rural India. Over the decades, the congregation grew and expanded its mission. A remarkable milestone in its history occurred in 1953 when the first General Chapter was held and Sister Imelda was elected as the first Indian Superior General. Her leadership signified the growing strength and independence of the congregation and echoed Christ's words in Matthew 9:37-38. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore,